Hello guys and welcome back to the Submission Addiction. It's been a long time since last, but I've been in the army and blah blah blah. Long story short, I'm back now and I have fixed the light heavyweight division because the light heavyweight division is such a big mess right now with strikers, which is pretty good. I mean, we get a lot of high-end, classy, nice dogfights, and that's great. But as great as the fights are, it is just one big mess. You have a champ who's out. You have guys that should retire or should go up to heavyweight. You have guys that have fought each other before, so on and so forth. And Paulo Costa just came in and knocked out Asmat Musakanov, right? So you have a lot of guys, and the UFC, quite frankly, doesn't seem to know what they should do with these guys, right? So this is my solution, and let's just start from the beginning. You have Carlos Ulberg. He just became champ, knocking out Jiri Prochazka. Really impressive. I mean, to do it on one knee is pretty impressive. However, he just had surgery, I believe, and is probably out for more than a whole fucking year, right? So you can't have him fight in the future, in the near future at least. So what I would do, and it annoys me tremendously, but you will either have to strip the title from him or you will have to make an interim build to have some sort of replacement champ, because he will be out for a long time, which is pretty annoying and also pretty annoying for himself, right? He just became champ and can't defend the belt. Alright guys, so let's go. Screw this fucking fight. We don't want to see Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Kuskov 2, right? They already have a fight. The fight ended in a draw. That doesn't mean that we want to see it again, UFC. Please listen. We don't want to see this fight again. What I would do instead is really, to nudge Jan Blachowicz into retirement. He has had a great career. He became champ at the age of 37, I believe, knocking out Dominic Reyes, of course. But that is a long time ago. And, he is, I believe that he is the second oldest fighter on the UFC roster, on the entire UFC roster. I think he needs to accept that age has finally caught up to him. And he should retire, I think, before he takes too much damage. He should go back home to Poland, to his family, and live a good life. Right. I think that his last couple of fights has showed that even though he's still a really, really good fighter and can beat a lot of guys, age has finally caught up to him, and he is becoming more and more washed for every day and for every fight. Right. Of course, that leaves Bogdan Kuskov open for a new opponent. I think he would like a matchup pretty soon. And I have put Khalil Roundtree in that position because Khalil Roundtree fought in last October or November. I believe it was October. So he will probably be looking to get a new fight pretty soon. I know Khalil got knocked out against Yuri, but I think he would like a new fight. And he's a dog. I think he will take this fight. And this should be pretty interesting, considering that they are both almost all out striking. They both have heavy hands and likes to, put on a striking clinic. This should be a really interesting fight. I could see both guys winning this fight, actually. I mean, Khalil Roundtree is probably the more... How should I describe it? He's probably more like the clean striker, the clean fighter. But Bogdan Kuskov, I think he has more momentum. He is a couple of years younger, I believe. So this fight would actually make a lot of sense, in my opinion. Bogdan Kuskov has his chance to move forward in the rankings, and Khalil Roundtree, who just got knocked out by Yuri, has his chance to defend his position as a top contender in this division, right? For Johnny Walker, I think that he should definitely move up to heavyweight, and he should have a long time ago. Like, I believe he and Rakic are the biggest light heavyweights out there. He is chinny as hell, and I know that it says that he sucks, right? I wrote it down. He doesn't suck. It's just, I don't understand how a guy that is so tall and so, has so much muscle mass, and is so athletic, can lose so many fights. I know he's chinny, but I don't understand the logic behind it. He would absolutely ragdoll most of the heavyweights. If he goes up to heavyweight, where he doesn't have to cut weight, I think he would easily be top 10 heavyweight, and maybe even top 5. And which is a better position that he is in now, because he just lost a very boring fight to Dominic Reyes. He is on his way outside of the top 15. With his athleticism, I think he could easily move up and do a lot of good in heavyweight, which, to be frankly, really needs something exciting, something new, right? As much as I hate to say this, I really think that the only two guys that somewhat deserves to be in an interim title fight are Magomed Ankalaev and Jiri Prochazka, which just feels wrong, because let's look at what these guys actually have done. I know I'm just, sitting here and criticizing my own takes, but we need someone. We cannot wait for more than a whole year for Carlos Ulberg, and we need to have some sort of interim title fight, or some sort of fight that, feels like a title fight. This is a new matchup, so you can defend it. You can defend my take, and I mean, they are probably still the most deserving guys out there. The big issue with this fight is that Ankalaev, in his last fight, got knocked out by Alex Pereira in the first round, and Jiri Prochazka, who just fought for the belt, got knocked out by Carlos Ulberg in the first round. So you have two guys with, that has just lost a whole lot of their aura going into an interim title fight. This fight would probably, it wouldn't do any good numbers. It's an interesting fight. I would probably have Ankalaev winning it just by, Jiri being too fucking dumb. I'm sorry, I love Jiri. Everybody loves Jiri. But they both lost all of their aura in their last fights. They both got knocked out very, very easily. And it wouldn't feel right for them to be in an interim title fight. But unfortunately, I think that's the only thing that makes some sort of fucking sense, which fucking sucks. Alright, let's move on, because this fight is really, really tough to defend, but also it's the only thing that makes sense. So let's move on. Paulo Costa, he just had a really good fight with Azamat Murzakanov. He actually surprised me in this fight. I really expected Paulo Costa to be knocked out by Azamat Murzakanov, who I really thought had like top 5 potential. But he went out there, knocked out Azamat Murzakanov in the third round. Really, really impressed me with this win. He was probably helped by not having to cut all of this weight. He was always a massive middleweight. And I think you should match him up against the winner of Khalil Roundtree and Bogdan Guskov. I hope those two, Roundtree and Guskov, will have a fight scheduled in the near future. Paulo Costa will have to recover for a bit, so I think that the winner of Roundtree and Guskov can fight Paulo Costa. This will also be a really entertaining fight, a great fight. And Paulo Costa facing the winner of this fight will actually be, will mean that he is fighting up the rankings, which is what he is deserving and what he is looking towards. Right. So this fight makes a lot of sense, right? And it would be a banger fight, of course. Paulo Costa has lately has been having a lot of great fights. Khalil Roundtree, always exciting. Bogdan Guskov, always exciting. So yeah, a great matchup, in my opinion. Right, this is a pretty... I mean, who even gives a fuck at this point? I actually thought that these guys had like great futures ahead of them. Nikita Krylov and Alexander Rakic. I really thought they had potential. I still think they have potential. Alexander Rakic, I mean, he was so close to defeat Magomed Ankalaev. I think he was so close to defeating him, Magomed Ankalaev. He just keeps on. I don't know how he does it. He keeps on losing. And the same with Nikita Krylov. I think they have both lost that chin. This will be a contest of who hits the first, right? Who gets the first big strike. I think this fight will end in a pretty early knockout, probably first round knockout. I mean, Rakic could easily move up to heavyweight. Krylov could easily move up to heavyweight, but I don't think they will do that. And if they won't do that, then I think they should fight each other. They are ranked like 12th and 13th or something like that. So it makes sense in the rankings. And it's a fresh matchup. But really, nobody gives a shit anymore because they have lost a lot of times recently, right? So, yeah. It makes sense, but nobody would fucking give a shit, right? Let's move on. Volkan No Time Oezdemir against Azamat Musakanov. Volkan Oezdemir, he's just there. I mean, he gets a win, he gets a loss. He's a win-loss kind of fighter. And Azamat Musakanov, I really thought that guy had potential. And he has potential. He is really, really good. But of course, coming off a KO loss, you will have to fight down in the rankings. You can keep on fighting up in the rankings. This will be a fun matchup. I don't have a lot more to say about it, actually. I think they should book this fight. They are both bald and have a beard. And I kind of, of course, they're both muscular. They have a lot of mass, but they are not lean. So actually, they look a lot like each other. Book this fight, please. Dominic Reyes against Jamal Hill. Dominic Reyes, he just won a pretty lackluster decision win, against Johnny Walker. He will be looking to fight up in the rankings. Jamal Hill has lost, I believe, 3 fights in a row and should be fighting down in the rankings. And that's why I have gone with this fight. Not because it's the most exciting. I mean, they are both kind of on the boring side, at least in light heavyweight standards, where they are all strikers. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people would give a shit about this fight either. But a lot of people like Dominic Reyes and a lot of people hate Jamal Hill. So there will be a clear fan favorite in this one, right? That was my last fight. I know some of these fights are more like some of these fights are more exciting than others. I mean, this fight is who gives a shit? And the same with Oezdemir and Musakanov, and probably the same with Krylov and Rakic. Who fucking gives a shit, right? That was just for me to include all of the guys in the rankings, pretty much. I mean, Alonso Minifield is still ranked at number 15, I believe. But again, who fucking gives a shit? I didn't want to find him a matchup because okay. Let's say I find him a matchup. He should fucking retire, right? So, and I think he will retire, actually. I don't think he has a lot of fights left in him. But yeah, that's how I would fix the light heavyweight division. The biggest fucking problem in this is to find someone to fight in an interim title fight. Or, becoming the number 1 contender. Because Magomed Ankalaev and Yuri Prochazka, the 2 guys that we had our faith in, just got knocked out in the first round in their respective fights. So this would have no hype, no aura. But yeah, there you have it. That's how I would fix the light heavyweight division. Remember, guys, to subscribe to the Submission Addiction and like the video. If you liked it, please leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.